Hello, everybody, and welcome to Learning SQL Episode 5 Intro to Joins. In this episode, we're going to talk about how we can join data horizontally so we can add more columns to our result set from different tables. Let's jump in. So in our Sequila database, we have an address table and we have a city table. If we take a look at our address table, we can see that it has a column called City ID, and that column contains integers that don't have much meaning. But we also have a city table, and we'll notice that the city table also has a column called City ID. Now we know by looking at the tables themselves that these two columns are connected. In the city table, City ID is the primary key, and in address, City ID is a foreign key. And it's how we tie a city to a specific address. So that's great. So how do we actually get our data to appear in our result set so it looks nice? In other words, how do we make the city name show up when we look at our addresses versus just an integer? Well, we have what's called a join that will handle this for us. So the most basic join is an inner join. We start off by selecting from a table just like we normally would. Next, we add the inner join clause. And we specify another table, in this case, city. Now we have to tell the computer how we want to match these two rows together. In this case, like we've already discussed, we want the city ID to be the key that unlocks the relationship between these two tables. So in this case, we are going to specify the address city ID should be equal to the city table city ID. Now, right now we're selecting everything, but we can clean this up just a little bit. So let's just select the address from address. Let's select the city ID from address, just to troubleshoot. Let's select the city ID from city. And then finally, let's select the city name. We can see from our result set that now we have all the columns available to us, and we can see how they match. Joins are just a way for us to connect data horizontally, or in other words, add more columns to our result set. There are many different kinds of joins that will specify different things. In this case, the inner join will exclude any records that don't have a match from either table. We're going to cover more types of joins in the future. Until then, take care of yourself.